I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So today it's Sunday and like every Sunday, this is going to be a new episode of This Week in Action Figure News. This is a bit what we're going to be talking about today. Of course, it's some Hot Toys, some Hasbro stuff, and of course, Inart. So let's start by Hot Toys. So of course, I did a video about my thoughts about Deck, the Bone Bison armor and Bud version that they did of this figure. Still haven't changed my mind. Still don't like the movie. Still think this is a money grab on the behalf of Hot Toys, and I would like to see something a bit different than this. But again, I guess they wanted to go with it, and they must be pretty happy with the sales of the previous version if they decided to go with this one over here. So yeah. Good for them, but definitely going to be saving some money because I'm not going to be picking up any of the products of Badland. Now moving on to something a lot more interesting. Inart has just released some more pictures for the Batman figure, and I must say that it does look pretty amazing. So, of course, here you have the bat suit, so it does look pretty neat, and I really love what they did with this figure. I think it comes off pretty good. I know that I have the Hot Toy figure somewhere, so I will have to dig it out and do the review of it, but yeah, this one looks pretty amazing, and of course head sculpts on the Inart are really great. Now I've noticed that they decided to go with real hair. I think the Superman also had real hair. I did not pick it up due to the fact that I do have MMS 200 from Hot Toys, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think I have the other one from the Justice League also, so I have the two suits. Again, it comes to a point where how many Supermans do I need in my collection? And of course, the problem of not having the room to be able to put them. But I must say this head sculpt of Ben Affleck really looks. He does look like he's kind of beaten down and really has this kind of look on his face. So like I said, they decided not to go with real hair. Maybe a way to save a little bit of money. That could be also an interesting part, to be putting it on the same prices as the Hot Toys, because this one is going for $389. I know the Hot Toys was a lot cheaper a few years back, but let's be honest, right now, if you be picking up this figure, it's going to be at least $300, and you still need to add taxes, then you still need to add shipping, and this one is $389 with shipping. Now, of course, I don't know if this was a special deal because Inart had some kind of festival that they decided to do, and in that festival they were giving off Easter eggs, special prices, and all of that. So that could be maybe the reason why they decided to put it shipping cost included worldwide. So that does put it as very interesting for a figure from them, because normally they're about around $400 to $500 and the shipping is not always included. So yeah, this one looks really amazing, but again, like I said, I do have a few of those Batflecks, so may want to pass, but I must say that I'm looking at this figure and he looks incredible. So here is the latest pictures that they have provided and giving you some explanation. So of course they did something who's really interesting. I prefer the fringe one with the hair hanging down like that than having this one slicked back. I think it looks a lot more interesting with the way the head sculpt is done. This one looks like some kind of picture that he had to take and he was not happy about taking the picture, like a mug shot. But yeah, I do like this one, and I think it's an interesting idea, giving you the two possibilities to depend how you want to put the fringe. So yeah, a really good job on their behalf. Of course, like the Hot Toys, does come with some gear. Does have the grappling gun hook, and the grappling gun does have the sniper rifle with removable elements from what they're saying, and of course that's pretty cool. The grenade launcher with the mist or the powder of kryptonite in it, so that's interesting. The Batwangs are done out of die cast, so that can be interesting also. So yeah, this does look pretty good. And then you continue with, of course, the cowl over here does really look pretty neat. Looks like the eyes seem to be also moving, so that's something I guess would be interesting. The faceplate, I mean, this is nothing new, but it does look pretty nice having 3 faceplates underneath to be able to do two interchangeable cowls, so you have different ways of posing. This is really something that I don't think the Hot Toy figure went into this kind of detailing on it. Of course, the figure came out not long after the movie did. This one is of 2026. So yeah, it's normal that they can have more time to develop than what Hot Toys did on theirs, but this one does offer so much possibilities. Then continuing, of course, we have the muscular body that they did. So that one's going to look pretty neat, and due to the fact there's no fabric on it, it's going to help out. Now the question always comes into play: how is it going to age? And that's going to be the main question about it, due to the fact that if you live in a place where the humidity is high, and of course where you have high temperatures, well, this may be not the best option, let's say like that, for it. But I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm definitely sold. And of course, even if I believe that Zack Snyder had some interesting points and some interesting parts in the movie, did not really care much about it. I was sold on Wonder Woman in this movie, of course, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. I like the presentation, the ideas that they were bringing behind. Not all of them, but yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. Then another feature that I find really cool also, they're giving you two interchangeable capes. So you have the cape that falls down like this. That's pretty neat if you want to pose him in this way. And if you want to give him a more dynamic, a kind of L'Oreal with the wind blowing in the back, you know, to give him this kind of effect, this is pretty cool to have the Y-wing cape in it to do it. So yeah, I mean, they really did a lot of stuff. Not only that, on another picture that they have some extra parts over here that we're not talking about over here. This is this bat mark that he uses, you know, like you use to mark the cattle. If you remember the movie, he marks the criminal, he arrests, he burns them with this bat sign and sticks it into their body. And they did both versions, the one who's cold and the one who's hot. And I mean, look at everything you get with this figure. It's still $389 with shipping. Let's say you would knock off $50, $60 for the shipping. It still puts it at a very close to what you're paying a Hot Toy figure right now. So is it worth it? Yeah, if you miss the Hot Toy one, I definitely suggest, and if you have the money, of course, go for it, because this one is pretty neat. Now, like I said, currently sold out, but the deadline for the pre-orders goes to the end of this month of April. So I guess it was something, I hope anyway, that it's some kind of special sold out products, because they did this festival, and that's the reason why it's sold out. Anyway, we will see. Now, moving on to Hasbro. And God, Hasbro, what the hell are you thinking about? I mean, you did the Tron first movie in 3/4 inch figures as a HasLab. It failed miserably. And now you're coming back with Tron Legacy. Now, again, I don't understand what's going on with you wanting to do. I understand you want to try new stuff, but this has already been made by other companies. And if you're going to try to hit the nostalgic point about it, and it didn't work with your HasLab, who was also pretty expensive, but we will see these are not much cheaper either. I mean, Super 7 is already on this market, and those things don't sell. And they should end up in clearance and getting rid of, and people are not going for it. I mean, why do you have a weird focus group who's just going to come out with weird ideas? I mean, let's be honest. Hot Toys back in the days when I was a distributor and still had the shop came out with the Tron Legacies. Of course, they did Kevin Flint over here, and they also did the Light Cycle. And that's the only two products. We didn't get Mrs. Number 13 from House, can't remember her name right now, Olivia something, and they didn't do her. They didn't do any other characters. They just dropped it because they saw the sales were not there. So, I mean, Hasbro, why are you picking up licenses that do not sell? I understand that there's some collectors out there who are going to be jumping of joy of having it. I guess there's also some people who may want to do some kit bashing and try to bring them into the Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series, or bring them into the G.I. Joe Classified series. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't understand. This is like if tomorrow you be coming out and say, "Oh wow, guys, we've purchased the Avatar license," and you're like, "Jesus Christ!" Other companies did it and it didn't work. They got rid of it and never did anything. It's not because a movie does well in the cinema that it's going to have a merchandise sell behind. How many times have I seen, as a shop owner, a distributor, seen other distributors having products stuck on their hands, getting rid of them because after the movie passed, nobody was interested in those products and they just went away. Now, I'm not saying all the products were good, but come on. This is really garbage. Hot Toys tried it, didn't work. Hot Toys didn't do any more of these, didn't even try to hit the nostalgia part of the first Tron movie. So, I mean, what do you think are you going to be achieving? And I do believe that you don't believe in this product because it's a HasLab exclusive, not HasLab, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and also the fact that you didn't do anything, well, after it, that's maybe a more problem that you have, is you didn't do anything to hype this line out or to throw it out there. There was no fan stream, nothing out there to try to bring up the hype for people wanting it. And that would have maybe given you a bit of an idea of how much people will have wanted it, talking about the prices, talking about the products themselves, trying to get us hyped. And you would have seen in the comments and maybe in the ratio of likes, dislikes, you might have seen, well, maybe we're going the wrong way. But like I said, you did go in the wrong way with HasLab. It didn't work. And like I said, for Avatar, it's the same thing. The movie sells tickets and it works. I mean, I saw the first one, I was blown away by the 3D, but I never see the other ones. I don't even know which movie we are. I can watch them for free on Disney Plus, and I'm not even watching them because I have no interest in the movie. The 3D was fantastic, was immersive, whatever you want to call it. It was there. The story was bleh. Okay, and I was not interested in seeing the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Now talking, like I said, Hot Toys did one figure, Jack Sully for the first one. They didn't sell that good. Afterwards, they kind of sold because they were sold out, but Hot Toys, through the intermediary of Sideshow, were giving them away because nobody wanted them. When they did those kind of promos, they were clearing them out, giving them away for free, and even then, those things didn't move. Now, you're going to say, yeah, but John, Hot Toys, yeah, I understand Hot Toys is a bit of a market by itself. But let's take Lego. Lego did also these avatars, and they only did it for one movie. Those sets, I remember seeing them getting cleared out at under 50%. And we're talking about the major shops in Switzerland, like Coop, Migros, Manor, or Placette, who are like the equivalents of what you would have at Walmart, Target in the US. And those shops were clearing them at under 50%, and those things were not moving. Nobody wants them. So again, I don't understand why you're doing it. And are people going to be priced out? Because let's be honest, it's expensive. So here we have the light cycle, and by the looks of it, this is Photoshop, because there's no light system in it. And of course, in a 6 scale inch, you could have put a battery with a light projector the same way that Hot Toys does with the lightsabers to give this kind of effect, but it looks like it's not going to be there. And of course, I saw this picture and I'm like, Jesus, what the hell is this look on his face? He has like this kind, he looks like a pervert to me. I don't know, maybe they should give him a tube of lube and some Hustler Playboy magazine as an accessory and some paper towels, because I mean, this head sculpt doesn't look impressive at all. And when I compare it to some of the Black Series, it looks like some of the first face prints that they did, the ones with the new ones, and it does not even look good. So now let's talk about pricing, because this is something that is kind of mind-boggling, if we can say like this, because let's be honest, this one here is $99.99. I'm like, well, okay, $100 taxes, of course you're going to get free shipping, because like I said, this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. and yeah, no batteries, no light up system. It's $100. No, not working for me. And again, like I said, you may want a second one to be able to drive it around or try to have this kind of, because it's the goal of having two of these. So again, yeah, really don't understand what you're doing here, and for me this is overpriced. Then moving on to the other one, who's the pack, they decided not to sell them individually, they decided to do a pack. Now the pack is $139.99, and if you put this together, you're going to notice that the 4 figures, if you divide it by 4, gives you $34.99 per figure, and $34.99 for these figures is overpriced. Now I can understand that you would say the female over here has 2 head sculpt plus the helmet. You could say, well, the head sculpt is the hardest, so yeah. But again, it's not worth what you're getting over here. This part goes like this. Over here, it's not worth $35. Same thing for over here. You get the head sculpt. The head sculpt is exactly the same one that you have under here. So, I mean, there's no extra really work or doing some mold. It's just being put in there so that you can have him with his cowl on, with the cape on and over his head. And there's nothing there. This one is definitely not worth 35, and this one even less. What are you thinking? And the fact that you're doing one big packages makes it even more interesting in cost price, because you're not making 4 individual boxes for this. So that means this takes up less room. You have more room in your container to ship. So it's not justifying $35 a figure. Way too expensive, and very disappointing on the behalf of course, Hasbro doing it. So are you interested in this line? Do you think it's overpriced? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. Or do you think I'm a bit too harsh with this line and I should lighten up? But I mean, this is BS at the highest level. And again, if Hasbro is selling them directly through Hasbro Pulse and not even doing any kind of fan channel to sell these products, that means nobody wants them. So yeah, we will see. Anyway, they're still up for pre-order, and it will be interesting to see if these go to the outlet or are suddenly decided to pop up in some of the stores like Ollie's or Was at a later date, or maybe have some at Big Bag Toys, have some kind of deal with Hasbro to be picking it up. Anyway, let's stop the rant about these horrible figures, and let's go on to something that I am finding a lot more interesting. So, I know I don't do much videos about the Star Wars Black Series, but I had to do one for these two here over here. Now, of course, if you're a fan of the Knight of the Old Republic or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, if you've been playing it for a little while, I've been playing it from the beginning as a free-to-play player, because I don't put money in mobile games. I think it's a scam. And of course, if you've been playing, like I said, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, well, they had the Sith triumphant raid, and these characters played a very important thing. There was a bit of thinking. It was not all RNG luck and this kind of stuff. You had to really craft some theories using different characters to be able to pass certain levels. It was really interesting. And of course, let's be honest, I do have a weak point for the Sith Lords. I find them very interesting. I'm not saying I don't like the Jedi, but the Sith Lords have some interesting characters. So, of course, you have Darth Nihilus. Of course, I have ordered him from Sideshow because Hot Toys made it. And, of course, for now, there's nothing new, but getting Darth Treya. It would be interesting if they're going to do some more of these figures. I guess it depends if these sell or not. But, yeah, really loving these two figures over here. So let's have a closer look. So, of course, we have Darth Treya over here with 3 lightsabers and the little winds who are holding them up, because this, if you remember, this is the second part of the raid, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, third part of the raid, after you killed Darth Talon and you killed, I can't remember, no, not Darth Talon, but you killed Nihilus first, and you move on to the other guy who looks like some kind of Frankenstein, can't remember his name right now, and then you move on to this, and you have these lightsabers who are attacking you, and you have to try to knock her out, and this looks pretty pretty decent, and I do like the idea that they did with this. So afterwards, how good these will hold with the lightsabers in, that's another question, but I like the fact that we have some fabric over here. That means that we can remove it. This looks really, really neat as a figure, so I say I cannot wait to get these going in pre-order. I can't remember if there was a date about it. If you know the date, put it in the comment section. But anyway, I will put a post on YouTube and of course Facebook when these guys are going to go in pre-order. Then afterwards, of course, we have Darth Nihilus over here, who's really like the way that the figure looks, and I think he has something, the Lord of Hunger, like they call it. And yeah, this figure looks nice. Now, if I would have to be a little bit nitpicky, I think that the cape should have been fabric over here and not molded to his head. This is something that is a bit of a shame. You can give him a bit of a darker look and covering more the face of the character, with depending how much fabric you want to push over to give it a more dark look. And I think this is something that's a little bit of a shame, but that's a bit nitpicking. But again, that's why I have the hot toy one, and the hot toy one you can do whatever you want and pose them the way you want. But this definitely good for me anyway. Let me know if you are also a fan of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, or are you a fan of the Republic, and like me, do you have a weak spot for the Sith Lords? Let me know in the comment section. So that's going to be it for episode 34 of This Week in Action Figure News. Do you agree with my assessments? Do you think that I've been too harsh on some of the stuff? Are you getting any of these figures? Let me know in the comment section so that we can start a conversation around our favorite hobby. So, like I said, this is going to be it for episode 34 of This Week in Action Figure News. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you want to go and check out more stuff, you can go to my Facebook page, Instagram page. There's also a little link in the end of this video for more videos if you want to go and check it out. Also, if you decide to pre-order the Hot Toy figure, I have a link that gives me some points if you use it, and it will help out the channel. This is for now the best way I found a way for you to be able to support the channel without having to pay out any money, because I don't want you to give me any money. I prefer to use the system for it, and there will never be a Patreon or any kind of paid hidden subscribers for videos. All the videos will be going up, and hopefully when YouTube will be monetizing me, then of course I'll be getting the money through YouTube. So this is just for you to have fun and to help out the channel. So of course, if you're watching this on Sunday, I wish you have a fantastic Sunday. And of course, if you're watching this on any day of the week, I wish you have a fantastic day. And of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye.